license is your responsibility. Now, it's really quite concerning that so many agents let their license lapse. Now, what you've got to remember is since March 2020, we've had the opportunity to have either a 1 year, a 3 year, or a 5 year license. So we renew for a longer period of time. So the possibility of us forgetting when that's due again is increased. Fair Trading send us an email and a text if they have the email, your correct email and your correct mobile number. So, and if they don't have those, then that's your problem, not theirs. Because if they will send it out to whatever details they have, and if you don't get it, that's your problem, because it's your license. If you don't have, haven't received the link to get on and renew your license when it's due, then you need to get on and find it and pay it. It's no different to any other regulatory license. You have driver's license, your responsibility. We might get a reminder, but it's still, at the end of the day, our responsibility to renew our license. Because if you let it lapse if it was due yesterday on the 28th of February, today is when it comes up on the Fair Trading website, the public register, that you've expired. Now, you've got 3 months to pay a late fee and put it back in, but that doesn't make everything you've done valid. For that period of time, you are expired. This is just about putting it back in. It's not I often hear people talk about, but there's a 3-month grace period. No, it's a late fee for a license that has expired. So, you need to get in there, you need to do that. Now, if it lapses for more than 3 months and less than 12 months, exact dates, then you will need to make a full reapplication for a license. You won't need to provide your educational qualifications because it's within the 12 months from when it lapsed. But still, that's an increased fee. And also, for the time that you're not licensed, what you're doing is not legal. So it's not valid, any of these agency agreements or deals that you're striking. So whilst the deal can still go through, there may be a question about your commission being paid. So you don't need those sorts of questions about where and how that happens. Now, if it lapses for more than a year, and unfortunately we get so many calls about this, you have to make a full reapplication, but you fall into the bracket where you have to meet today's qualifications order, which means you might have done your license 20 years ago or 5 years ago or 30 years ago. Now, the qualification of 5, 20, 30 years ago is not the same as the qualification of today. The qualification that is required by Fair Trading under the Property and Stock Qualifications Order it changed on the 23rd of March 2020. So, you would have to be reassessed against the new qualification. If you haven't ever held a certificate of registration because you went straight to a license, but in that period of 17 years where you were able to do that between 2003 and 2020, you may well have to go right back to holding a certificate of registration for 12 months, being signed off, so there could be, a whole, depending on your individual circumstance, there may be some serious implications to the functions that you are able to perform. It's certainly going to cost you a lot more money, a lot more time, and until you've got that up and approved again, you can't work in the industry because you are unlicensed. So I hope that's, as I said, we get so many calls, and we're averaging, and when we go to print off to issue CPD certificates for agents, we actually have to put your license number on those for the Class 1 and Class 2 agents, and we go in and we check what your license number is. At that point, we actually see whether it's expired or whether it's current. And the number of ones that we see that are expired is excessive. It's really surprising that we see that there. We also see that some people are not licensed in the right category for the functions that they're performing. So that's another thing to check. So really big push here. Get onto the New South Wales Fair Trading website, look at the public licence register for property agents, and just double check your license. Make sure the categories are right. Make sure it's current. Put a reminder into your Outlook calendar of when that's due, whether it's this year, next year, or 4 years' time. Doesn't matter. Get that into your Outlook calendar to make sure that you don't let that happen to you. So, And if you are holding a certificate of registration still and a license, and they're in the same category, so you've got a real estate certificate and a real estate license, you need to surrender the certificate. You don't need both. Obviously, the license outweighs the certificate, or outranks the certificate. So get rid of it. Take it off your register. Surrender it. Easy process. Again, through the Fair Trading website, get the right form or get the right link onto Services New South Wales, and you can do that online. So really easy to get that done, but make sure that the certificate and the license are in the same category. So you might actually have a certificate of registration for stock and station and a license while you are upgrading your license to be a stock and station. So there's a whole lot of different outcomes there. If you're not sure of what that means for you or what that means for the functions that you are performing, give us a call. We're more than happy to chat you through that and see where you need to be. But please, please, please check the currency of your license and the categories are correct, because it's going to cost you a lot of time, energy, stress, all of that if you've got it wrong.